Hey guys, Vengeful Shadows here. We're going to be bringing you another market watch today, alright? And hopefully you've been enjoying the Halloween season. We got a bunch of new cards coming out, a bunch of reprints, dropping prices of cards, while other prices like, droplets for the ultis were going up and everything. So as new sets release, we're going to be seeing a bunch of price fluctuations as well. And we're going to be trying to get that to you ahead of time so you can pick up some cards before they go up in price. And one of those main cards here today is, if you can see, we already got it pulled up here. That is Super Polymerization, okay? And this has been a super strong card for a while now. It even got a spot on the ban list a while back. And then recently, within like the last couple of years, which is not long at all, given how long Yu-Gi-Oh's been out, it has been off the list, not just at 1, but it's come back up to 3. So we're going to dive into that. If you like making money off cards, or if you like just getting them beforehand, this is definitely one to look into, all right? We're going to be showing you why. So in the next couple sets, we're going to be getting, we're going to be getting a Destiny Hero Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. And when he gets brought to the board, essentially, he's a quick effect, destroy one card on your board, destroy one card on any part of the board, okay? So that's you or your opponent. And that's a quick effect. So he could chain stuff, destroy it himself, and destroy whatever in response to your opponent's cards that would banish him or take control of him or whatever the effects are. And the big one too is not only does he gain attack for each of the heroes in like graveyard and stuff, but when he himself is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can activate that effect. So when he's destroyed, you activate it right there. All right. And then you special summon one Destiny Hero monster from your graveyard during the standby phase of the next turn. So that's super strong. And obviously, he can target himself. So if he gets destroyed by the opponent's card effect or your own card effect, he revives himself during the next standby phase. Hence the Phoenix part. And the best part about this is, because of his quick effect, he can activate, destroy himself, destroy a card either on the opponent's board, which is normally optimal, or a card on your board, which we know in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can definitely activate a few cards off of your own card destruction, so that's good. But what we got here, though, is while your opponent has been bringing him out, like everyone's been teching the Fusion Destiny, they've been using Anaconda just like they have been for the Red Eyes Dragoons, okay? Except the targets for Phoenix Enforcer are not vanillas. You run Dasher, you run the Celestial, okay? And both of them grant the Grave effects. So Dasher, when you draw a card and it's a monster, you can reveal it, special summon it, okay? So that's really good in today's format. Obviously, you have to wait a turn for that. In Celestial, you do as well, but that one's really good. You use that effect when you have no cards in your hand, banish that, another Destiny Hero monster from the grave, draw 2 cards, and obviously Dasher's that other target you need. So not only do you get Destroy Phoenix Enforcer on the board, but you get a card that can summon monster from the hand during your next turn, as well as using like the Celestial to draw 2. So you're getting a bunch of benefits for summoning out a monster. So that is clearly going to be seeing some play. And then Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, having the quick effect to destroy himself and another card on the board, makes it hard for him to be outed. All right. So that is why I'm making this video, to talk about Super Polymerization. All right. And Super Polymerization being a quick effect spell card, like you can activate it on your opponent's turn. You can activate it right out of the rip from your turn. You discard a card, summon one fusion monster from the extra deck, use monsters from either side of the board. And that's why it's super strong. You can take your opponent's monsters, and if they have a board of all you need to summon monsters from your extra deck, you can use their entire board. And that is why it's super strong. All right. Now, the last part, the most important part, honestly, yeah, board clearing is nice. That you could say is the most important, but the other most important, neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. Neither players can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. So cards like Red Eyes cannot negate, cards like Destroy Phoenix Enforcer cannot destroy themselves in response to get around it. So that makes it super hard out. You can't solemn, you can't anything. All right. So that is why Super Poly is as good as it is and got that spot on that ban list. Mainly, that was probably the board clear one, but now this is why Super Poly is as good, because there's so many cards out there that negates card effects, especially in a format where going first is so prevalent. Like, Super Poly just makes it where you can break the board so easily, and they have no responses at all. And like I said, it outs not only Dragoons, which is played heavily in today's format, but it outs the future Destroy Phoenix guy. And we're going to go take a look real quick, because like I said, this is a market watch, not just telling you what cards are going to be really hot in the side deck or main deck. But let's go and give this a gander. And I just want to mention this real quick as well. So Destroy Phoenix guy, his materials to make him is level 6 or higher Destiny Hero monster, and then 1 Destiny Hero monster. Level 6 or higher they run is the Dasher, or if you're playing a pure hero version, they play the Malicious, and then the other one is normally the Celestial, okay? So that's good to keep in mind, especially given that his targets to make him are himself, essentially. Like, he will match both clarifications for his own summoning. So if you're playing against a deck that is a like pure like Destiny Hero deck, which they're going to be played, or an Evil Hero Destiny Hero deck, which they're going to be played, you can have them set up the entire board, activate Super Poly, pitch a card, fuse right into your own Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, okay? And that is super strong. Because aside from that, the only other targets you really have for that is we have like Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, we got the Borreload Furious Dragon, and then we got other things like, Mud Dragon is like decent and stuff, but like that's when we get into like really obscure stuff. But like mainly the 2 targets are Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, and then once in a blue moon, Borreload Furious Dragon will be seeing some play. Okay, which we want to talk a little bit about that as well in this video. But let's get right to it. And if you're liking at all what you're seeing, just remember we got the Twitter, YouTube, the Twitch as well. But share, share, share. That's all that really matters. And here we go. So we got a plethora of Super Polymerizations to choose from. We got ultra rares of all sorts, commons, super rare, secret rare. That one's really nice. Like, secrets are really, really good looking Super Polys. I do recommend those. But the one we are focusing on mainly today, like, I think these will all see price like increases just by different margins, but the one I like to focus on obviously is the ultimate rare. Okay, so this one is super good. And it's been seeing a lot of price kind of like fluctuation, not like by super crazy margins, but enough to like look at. So my theory a lot on ultimate rares is that they come out, they come out at a price. Like, back in the day, they'd come out pretty cheap. Now we're seeing some of them like Infinite Impermanence drop at like, $300-400 or some crazy stuff like that. Definitely didn't recommend picking that up. I want some multi droplets, but I can't pay what they're wanting on that. That's just a little insane right now. It's like almost $300. And I'd almost want to go get like champion pack cards for that, but I like ultis. I just think, whatever, that's a different story. But these came out flat 100s about, okay? They kind of rose up to 120s. And my theory about like these older ultis, like especially like Pot of Desires, stuff like that, is they'll come out at like a cheaper value. They kind of see a little bit of a rise, and then they like drop, because that's like the format that they're like not being seen any play in. You know what I mean? Because like that's how it goes. Cards come in and out of formats, so that's the format they just don't see any play in. All right, so you'll see like their prices like just go down a little bit, not a lot. It's like $10-20, honestly. It's not that much, not a big amount to like worry about. And then at that moment, like like I would that's like probably one of the prime times to pick it up, or when it comes out if it's like super cheap, like Galaxy Cyclone was. But once it dips a bit, that's when it seems like there comes like a format that the card will be needed. And then it just like hikes up in price. Like, you saw it with Drone Lockbird, you saw it with Stratos, you saw it with a bunch of cards. Like, it just happens over and over again, where like the price will go down a little bit. Like Thunder Dragon Colossus, I mean, obviously it got banned, but I mean the price already went down before it got banned. I want to point that out. All right, the price was already $30. I picked mine up, and then it got banned, and then it doubled in price. I picked more up, and it went up again by 50%. So it's a trend here. So this was 100, it went up to 120. Now it's down to 100 again. And literally, if you like last week, we had some at 85s. Then yesterday and maybe a day and a half ago, we had 3 of them at 90. And now we're already back up to 100 for the rated sellers, all right? And I don't just like say these things, I practice what I preach, you know what I mean? Like I try to pick these up myself just to have my versions of them. Like I'm a big fan of like collecting. And then, like I said, always pick up a few of them so you can get rid of them yourself and keep your playset. Or if you, that's if you want to collect and keep them. Otherwise, they're just all, fussing for days from there. But I think they're going to be seeing like a price hike. Obviously, people going back to the shop has affected the prices of cards. You have trading that's been available now that hasn't been available for the last year and a half, which is really good to have that in a trading card game. But I do believe these ultis are going to be seeing a major increase in the definitely coming weeks here with that Destiny Hero coming out. And then the other focus too, like I said, one of the targets we're looking at for that Super Polymerization is Borreload Furious Dragon. It came out of a structure deck, the Rocket Revolt. So it's literally like a 50-cent card, okay? This dude down here is like 300 of them. One of the big crazy psycho investors could probably just like buy them out, okay? Like for real, for real. Spend like $150 and get them. But less than that. But, whatever. It's a super good card. It takes 2 Dark Dragon monsters, which is very easy when you're dueling against a rocket deck, which happens all the time. And then it's a quick effect. Target 1 monster your opponent... Oh, not bad. Target 1 monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls. Destroy them. Okay, so similar to the Phoenix God. You can banish a card from your graveyard, then target one Dark Link monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but it cannot activate its effects this turn. And you can only use each effect of the Furious Dragon once per turn. So he's a good target. If the Destroy Phoenix Sky is not available for just 2 Dark Dragon monsters, and then obviously Starving Venom is like the main one we go into if, like I said, you're not dueling against like a deck that can grant you the Destroy Phoenix Sky off the Super Poly, but you can take the Destroy, take the Dragoons, and another Dark monster, and go into Starving Venom. And as always, like the secret one will be seeing a little bit of an increase there. It's at like $12, $13 right now. So that's good. But he's the one you're going to be going into. He takes 2 dark monsters on the field, and since you're using Super Poly, that's exactly where you're fusing them from. That's why people don't like it back in the day too much. And then if this card is fusion summoned, you can make this card gain attack equal to 1 special summon monster your opponent controls, which is obviously going to normally be there. Everyone special summons a bunch of monsters. And until the end of this turn, oh yeah, that's like when he gains the attack. Once per turn, you can target 1 level 5 or higher monster your opponent controls. Till the end of the turn, this card's name becomes the monster's original name, and you replace that effect with that monster's original effect. And then if this fusion summoned card is destroyed, you can destroy all special summon monsters your opponent controls. So not only are you normally stealing 2 other monsters to take it, or one of their best monsters to make it, but when he dies, you're going to get a board wipe. So obviously, those are like some of the targets you can go on Super Poly. And we're just going to pull that up there. A little cameo for the Nurse Burn. But, yep. Oh, so I just wanted to make a quick video once again going over that Super Poly. It's going to be seeing some play in the side decks when Destroy being an X Enforcer comes out. So that's fine. Let your opponent drop the money on it. Go get some for you. I do recommend it. It's a great card. It's going to be a good tech card for sure. But, yeah, when your opponent makes it, just stealing it from them, just to make it into Starving Venom, one of your own, or, any of these other cards, it's definitely going to be a play. I want to give a shout out as well to Mud Dragon of the Swamp. 2 monsters with the same attribute, but different types, happens a hell of a lot in this metagame. And anyone following the water deck that's going to be hitting soon knows that like they make the sharks, they make the toads. You can steal it right there to make your mud dragon before they have a chance to go into Utopic Draco off the sharks. At the Bahamut. So Mud Dragon in the swamp will be seeing like a little bit of play, and you can maybe like make some plays with it himself. It's a worm, it's a fusion, you got a few plays. There's also Earth Golem, takes a Cyber's monster and a Link monster. Once again, you got a few decks that will like be busting out. Like you got the little Cyber's engine with the Ignitor deck. You can side Super Polys against that. I just want to let you know there's not just siding it against the Destiny Hero deck or anything. We got that new Worm deck coming out. I'm not sure like exactly what you want to hit with that. Maybe Mud Dragon will be the target for it, but there's always normally something nowadays. And then a cool one is the Spellcaster, the Dragon one. Hit or miss. Like the more you get into them, the more vague they get. But the big hitters are the Starving Venom, the Mud Dragon, and then you got yourself things like Destroy Phoenix Enforcer if they're playing the hero deck themselves. So thank you guys so much for watching the vid. Definitely, if you haven't yet, go get yourself some Super Polys, ultis, but if you can't, obviously that's chill. Go get something like the Secrets and, have a little bling to the deck before it goes up in price and have it out to the new meta when it comes out. All right, guys? And again, if you're liking what you're seeing, follow, share, mainly share, subscribe, do what you do, but mainly have fun and stay healthy. All right, guys, have a good one. Have a good